Here we are, back for part 3. Now, as you saw in the last video, we made most of that bit there. The video before we put that in. This one we're doing the outer. Don't worry about that rust, we'll sort that out the next time we get back to this car. So, one of the things we've got to tackle is reshaping where it joins the... Reshaping the new panel around where the wheel arch joins up because it's not right, and figuring out where we're going to cut here. But the rest of it should be fairly straightforward. I'm really hoping this video won't be spectacularly long and can keep you guys focused and entertained. So yeah, we'll just get stuck straight into it, and I'll spray some etch over that bit so it's sealed up. I ground out all my welds, made it pretty, and try and keep it entertaining. But I had to add this in, it made me so excited. I had to share it. It was about, you know when you get a repair just 100%, well maybe not 100%, I'm sure somebody out there will do it better than me. Because no matter how hard you try in life, there's always someone better than you. But the trick is being humble. So, the lighting's a bit rubbish, but, oops, too low. Yeah, yep, snug. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Obviously there's some tweaking, because it's not quite right up there. But in there, isn't that just lovely, kids? It's just lovely. And yeah, I've got to cut about 6 feet off the back of this thing and reshape here. But you're just really happy. I am. Be happier if it was actually focused. There we go. Yeah, look at that. That's what the inside's going to fit like. So, kudos on them for this, the reworking of this panel. You know they've done a good job when it just fits. Obviously it'll fit better once I tweak that end. But I just had to share that bit. Pretty stoked. So I've hacked off 80 feet at the end of it. And if I have to make one critique to this panel, this fold here is supposed to be a right angle. There's one on the car, and it is very, very right angle-esque. So that one's correct. That's correct. But on this repair panel, it sort of goes out on a sort of that angle. It needs to be. So for this to fit snugly, this needs to be straight down. If I give the manufacturers one thing about this particular, you can't dispute me too much because this car has been unmolested. This is original, so this car's correct. I mean, I'm not saying that they're all the same, but this should be a right angle. I mean, they'll probably say, why don't you just bend it? Oh, well, I'm going to. Duh. But, for future reference, that needs to be a 90-degree fold in that one. But, and also, this is to help the at-home guys. Most proper shops probably would be able to figure it out themselves, like I am. For those of you playing at home, we've now got it sitting on. We've right angled that, and that's about as good as we can get that, but we can retweak that when it's being welded in. It's just, it also seems a bit short, but it's not the end of the world. And we actually trimmed off once we had to recut one of these welds, fold it up, and then trim off a little bit. It was a bit too big. I'm not criticising the person, I'm just giving hints for the new players on what you're going to encounter when you put one of these on. And I was trying to work out before whether you're better off getting this panel or the rear spares one, but mind you, I think you're better off getting this one because of these shapes being right and having the correct groove underneath there. Mind you though, if the back of your car was rusted off here, you'd probably want to get the other one. And then make this piece and weld it in. So it's a bit, yeah, and then of course you still got this issue where that bit's a bit not much of a fold there. That obviously needs to be a bit crisper. So I don't know what people are going to do with this information. It's just to help you not panic. You go, why doesn't my panel fit? Well, it's not your car, it's the limitations of technology, and you know, it's better than trying to make something from scratch. At least it's something to work from. But don't expect it to come out of the box perfect. That would be what I would tell you. You'll have to rework everything you buy. We're outside this time, so I'm going to show you this panel just prior to me putting it on. I've just got all I got to do is spray it with some copper spray around where all the joins and welds go, and it's glue A to tab B time. I've decided to sandblast off all the crappy paint that's put on it to protect it while it's not being on a car, and show you what I've done to it. So you can see where they've reworked the shapes. I know that's been reworked, and I could just tell this is one of the older ones that's been reworked. So to make this fit the bottom, I hammered this edge down so it's a right angle, or a much sharper angle than the one that had. And at this end I had to cut here and then hammer it up and then actually trim off the edge so it sits flush. So there are a couple of hints for people. But aside from that, it's go time. I'll give it a spray. Here we have it, all welded on. I cheated a little. Don't worry about that. It's all able to be ground down. I cheated through here. What I forgot to do was put holes in here, and I could have plug welded them two together from the other side, but I went, I'll just do some beads through here, and that'll be plenty good. Under here was fun. It actually ended up lining up spectacularly well. And like I said, don't worry about that. That'll be tackled later. And we've got some plugs down through here. Yeah. That pretty much wraps it up, and I'll just chuck a little time lapse in of grinding it down, and that'll be the end of this repair. Nicely done. So I'm going to wrap up this video about here because the bloody compressor is having such a hissy fit at the moment. Well, it's not, it's actually dying, and there's a brand new one coming on Tuesday, but it's proving to be very difficult to consistently be able to work and do a good time lapse without having to stop for 5 minutes at a time while it catches up. It is just, today is not the day for that compressor. It sounds like it's dying every time it starts up. So this is where this video is going to wrap up. I mean, what else is there to see? You just see me grind down the welds and put some primer on it. That's pretty much it. That's the end of the job. And we'll see this repair on another video. It won't be a very long video either. But yes, stay tuned. Enjoy. Thought I'd round out this video with a little product review, you might say. They do need some work, but value for money, $80. I really don't think you could beat that. But mind you, this was going on a car that was pretty good. But if your car was all rusted out at this end, you would actually have to go buy the other one, because this is just a straight shot. So until they start doing these with that end on them, you're stuck with either having to do it to a car that end is good, or make your own end, or buy the other one and modify it. But if it's like this and not too bad, then $80 is pretty good. It does fit fairly well. Yeah, I think value for money, it's not too bad. But unfortunately, when it comes to rust rear panels and lower rear quarter sections, nothing can beat the ones for XYs. If you want to talk about one that goes straight on with absolutely no modifications, they are the ones. They are perfect. I don't know how that's possible, but those 10, I've had several of them, and every single one's gone on perfect. Every single one of these has always needed some modifications. It ended up looking not too shabby. Plenty acceptable.